a topic or a group of topics that I have found really quite difficult over the last 15, 20 years, 25 years even. A group of topics that I find difficult to talk about and to teach and to organize and structure. And the reason is probably because I never put much effort into it, but in recent times I've been more concerned about it because I find myself repeating things that I've said too often before. Now, so the topic here is appropriation, conflation, and abstraction. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail on each of these. These three I consider are Mara's daughters, the three daughters of Mara, as obstacles to understanding Himalayan and Tibetan art. These are the three biggest problems I run into. And appropriation, conflation, and abstraction, these three, they manifest differently with different types of students or different types of people interested in the art. For example, abstraction is really the biggest obstacle for religious studies students and Buddhists. Buddhists are constantly bringing abstraction into the visual compositions that they're looking at, be they painting or sculpture. Buddhists are constantly overthinking and trying to make a new understanding or understand symbolism rather than just looking first with their eyes at what they are seeing. Conflation is also more of a religious studies, but more of a faith-based practitioner issue. It has to do with how you take many different complex ideas or many different complex visual forms and you conflate them into one abstract notion. This is a problem. Then appropriation. Appropriation is probably the first of the three sisters, the three daughters of Mara. Appropriation is something where different people have different reactions to it. So what's appropriation? Appropriation is, well, first and foremost, the visual form of a Buddha with Ushnisha on the crown of the head, with the Urna on the forehead, with the elongated ears, with the arms that extend down to the knees, all the fingers and toes the same length, webbed fingers, webbed toes. This is appropriation because Buddhists didn't invent this. This comes out of Indian culture. We have the Jain religion also depicts the similar appearance of a Jain Tirthankara as the Buddhists depict a Buddha or a Tathagata. Other forms of appropriation are the inclusion of deities in Vajrayana Buddhism such as Sarasvati, Ganapati, how many forms of Avalokiteshvara mirror forms of Vishnu or Shiva, how the form of and the metaphor and the functions of the tantric deity Hevajra mirror those of the Vedic god Indra. So these three, appropriation, conflation, and abstraction, these are something that we will go into more detail on and we will talk about individually with a video because they need a little bit of work. Well, quite frankly, I'm just tired of constantly repeating and it's always to the same types of people. So I feel if we bring this to the fore, if we talk about this up front, then maybe people will have fewer doubts and questions and concerns later on once we're actually studying these topics. So press the like button. You can also join HAR on Patreon, and you can go directly to the Himalayan Art Resources website and you can make a donation because we are a not-for-profit 501c3 education resource and we only stay online because of you and your donations. We are only here because of small donations. We have no corporate, we have no government, we have no institutional, and we have no Dharma centers or Dharma groups that help fund what we do. We do education, we're non-denominational, we don't promote one tradition over another, but we are primarily Himalayan art-centric, but that also involves Mongolia, Buryat, Kazakhstan, northern China, Nepal, Bhutan, Ladakh. We have many areas, northern Burma, northern Myanmar. So please donate, and I thank you for that.